Hello again, everybody. Barry Hyatt here in Scottsville at the University of Kentucky Extension Office with my good buddy Janet Johnson. Janet, we are getting ready for Easter, are we not?
We are, Barry, and we're going to be doing something exactly what we think people will love this month. We're going to be looking at a great egg dish, Barry, that can be used for a quick breakfast or it can be used as a main dish supper. And what's great about it, of course, is that eggs are such a good protein value and they're on sale this time of the year for lots of other reasons, for egg hunts and things like that.
Sure.
But this is a frittata, Barry, and the way that we're going to make it tonight, we're going to combine some spring vegetables like green onions and broccoli, which come early, and you'll be able to take advantage of those sales soon, very soon. And we're going to add a little bit of red pepper and tomato. You could make this a veggie frittata if you wanted to, but I have taken advantage of what I think people will have after Easter dinner, and they will have some leftover ham. Whether that's a country ham or what we call city ham. City ham or country ham.
Tennessee's probably going to be country ham, but hey, we have city ham too, I guess.
Yes, absolutely. And we love Clifty Farm here in Scottsville. Yes, we do. So to make the frittata, again, we're looking at a combination of spring vegetables. And this could be a summer vegetable combination too later on. So we're using about a cup of broccoli florets, the tiny flowers, and you break those to be rather small, not large. And then we're adding about a half a cup of chopped tomato. Now, if you were buying tomatoes this time of year, that can be a little challenging to get flavor. So I usually buy the grape tomatoes or, again, the other type of salad tomatoes that are sweeter. And then chop those and use those because they'll give you a little more flavor right now.
Great.
And they're really good. Romas are great later on, and other tomatoes later on in the summer will be delicious.
And if you wanted to wait on this, you could wait until probably June or whenever to do it as well too.
So. Right. I think you're going to really like this. And if you're having a special company breakfast, even in the holidays, this is a great thing to have. It's a great egg dish to have.
Good deal.
Year-round. It can be year-round. So we're adding about a cup of broccoli florets. We're adding about a half a cup of chopped tomato. And then we're adding a small red pepper, or you could put more red pepper. I chop the red pepper. If you want to cut it into real fine strips, tiny strips, you can do that if you like that. Or, again, onion if you like that. Now I used a couple of green onions in this. You could do a red onion or your favorite onion. A Vidalia onion would be nice too. So then I've added some leftover ham. Now this is about 8 ounces of country ham. And I dice that up. Now if your country ham, if you've already used it, it'll be cooked, of course, so you wouldn't have to put your ham in this step. But this came out of an extra package I have right now. So I have put this in a 9x13 baking dish and chopped all the vegetables up and then just kind of drizzled them with some olive oil. Okay? So just enough, and I put it in the oven and I have roasted, again, these vegetables. Now, sometimes don't start watching TV while you're doing this, or you can overcook quickly. It doesn't take long to do this. And what you're doing is you're bringing out the flavor and you're softening the vegetables ahead, so that when you add them to the eggs, again, well, it's just a better texture and a better flavor. So we're doing that. Now, if you need to, you can put your ham in too and let it kind of roast as well, or use leftovers, either way you want. So it's going to come out of the oven about like this. And so that's the step that we're at. Then what we're doing is that we are taking 6 eggs, and I may let you just kind of whip on these, Barry, and I'm going to talk. You're just kind of whipping those eggs up, and while Barry's talking, I will, or while Barry's whipping, I'm doing all the talking, aren't I? I'm going to lean across him and I'm going to get a little bit of milk. Now, if you really want a richer frittata or a quiche, you would use half and half. All right? That adds, of course, more fat, but it is a creamier texture to your egg dish. If you're concerned a little bit about fat or special diet, we're going to add a fourth of cup of 2% milk. Now, you could even drop back to a fourth a cup of whole milk if you wanted, Barry. So I'm going to add a little bit of that in there. Okay. Now, this recipe to add a little bit more fat is even going to take and add some cheese in just a second to the recipe, and then we're going to kind of thicken it up a little bit. So
how does that look? Do you think that's pretty good?
That's kind of frothy. We want to make sure all the egg white is blended. That's what you want to do so you don't have that. So I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons. Now that's a half a tablespoon, so I'll do 2. And then I'll do 2 more. And that is all the liquid that we are adding to this.
Okay, sure.
Okay, and as you beat that and incorporate air, and that's what you're doing, you're incorporating air into the mixture with an egg mixture so that you're blending the egg white, the egg yolk, so that it will come out fluffy.
Okay.
And hold its shape. Otherwise, you'll have kind of a variegated sort of frittata. You'll have a little egg white and maybe some thick yolk, so it is important that you do kind of whip this up and really work with it with air like that.
Okay.
Okay, that looks good, Barry.
Okay.
Now, to give a little zip to this recipe, what we're going to do is we're going to spoon in some Dijon mustard.
Yes.
And this gives it a little zip to the recipe. This is a nice mustard to use with some spices that have been added over and above the usual prepared mustard
And
that
you
we
can
think
smell
about. You can, can't you? It has a very tart, very aromatic kind of taste that you're going to get, and you can definitely tell that with the aroma. So we're going to make sure that we combine that really good. And then I'm going to add 3/4 cup of shredded mozzarella cheese.
Go right ahead,
and
and I'll
this
keep on.
is a lower fat mozzarella cheese, of course.
Boy, that really thickens it up real quickly,
See,
doesn't it?
that's what we mean. This is where you're kind of removing a little bit of the fat that you would get with a half and half. Half and half would give a similar texture to what you see there. Then next you add your favorite spice combination. Now the recipe calls for salt and pepper and Italian seasoning.
Okay.
I tend to like with this recipe because I have substituted, I'm using the country ham. I kind of drop back from the Italian seasoning because I'm adding the country ham.
Right.
And I'm going to use some seasoned salt.
Okay.
And that adds its own spice combination. And I'm going to add some seasoned pepper.
Okay.
So there we go with that. And that makes this wonderful. Okay? So
deal.
we've got a spice combination. We've got a little cheese added to thicken, and we've added a little milk, and we've added just a little water to the 6 eggs. I didn't mention how many eggs.
6,
but
yes, 6.
It's a half a dozen, in the
Okay.
recipe. So now what we're going to do, Barry, is we're going to simply add this mixture on top of the vegetable mixture.
Okay.
Okay? So I'll take that for you.
Okay.
And we're just going to add this and just pour it over, okay? And we'll make sure that we get everything. We'll pour over, and then we will stir to combine it.
Okay.
Now in a moment, I'm going to show a variation of doing this. It takes just a second longer, but it really can make a difference because now what we have is a casserole-like dish.
And it's very colorful
Oh,
too,
it's
is it
beautiful.
not?
Is it not beautiful?
Yes, it is.
And I love the addition of the ham with the textures with the vegetables, but as you say, and you might even add some mushrooms instead of ham. And I'm just going to sprinkle just 1/4 cup, so that makes a total of 1 cup of mozzarella cheese that we've used, but we're going to put a little of that on the top, okay?
Okay.
And we have this ready now to go in the oven. We're going to put it in the oven at 375 degrees. And that will take approximately 20 minutes. Just check it.
20 minutes, okay.
Yes, it will.
So not very long then.
That's great. Now, when I mentioned, Barry, the differences, you can see that the mixture we made up, instead of putting it in a casserole, you can also prepare this in muffin tins.
Wow.
You know, we're kind of on a muffin tin kick, aren't we? Last month.
Last month
did
we
the
also,
same thing.
the
We sure
frozen
did.
fruit cup, I think it was.
We
wasn't it?
did,
Yeah.
but this is even great because now what you do is you sprinkle just a little cheese in the bottom.
Okay.
It's the same mixture, okay? So we're taking the vegetables before we add the eggs, and we spoon some vegetable meat mixture in the muffin tin, and that brings it about half full. And then we pour and take about 1/4 cup of the egg mixture that you did. We pour that in, and this is the result.
Okay.
Now, depending on the size of your muffin cup and the amount of mixture, you know, and that can vary. It really can. So today, out of a 12-cup muffin tin, and making this ahead, I actually got 10 of these particular little egg muffins. Hey, that's
That's
pretty
quite a few.
good.
That's quite a few, yeah.
Yeah, and who would have thought of the word egg muffin, right? We left out a significant part of that.
The
but
EMC, I think, but something like that, yeah.
yeah, we left that out. But it's a great little idea, and then what you can do is that you can individually package those, and you've got breakfast to go.
Yeah.
You can pop it in the microwave, heat it up just a little. You can take it in the car and you can go and you can eat it.
And you can save a little money and not have to go to those fast food places all the
That's
time.
right. And you can also eat it for a low-carb snack. If you're really watching your carbohydrates for
Yes,
weight,
yes.
this is definitely a great low-carb snack.
Good deal.
And very low calorie, too. A serving that we look at in the frittata that you see that we baked makes about 8 servings, and that's
Okay.
about 130 calories.
Wow.
Now that, with the addition of the country ham, you would have a little more, maybe 150 calories. But
Okay.
anyway, but this serves up great, and I love this berry to serve for a great spring brunch or lunch or supper with some fresh asparagus and some spring greens, all the things that are coming into season
Sure.
with something that would be extravagantly low cost.
Yes. Did
Yeah.
you spell that EGG?
Yes,
And so on and so forth?
definitely,
Okay.
definitely. But I think people will really enjoy this
Now,
recipe.
if someone has never tasted this before, what would you
Yes.
say? Pretty good?
It is good. What you need to do is think of quiche
Okay.
without the crust.
Okay.
That's exactly what you're doing.
Okay,
You're
good deal.
making the quiche, and instead of pouring it in a pie crust, we're just putting it in a muffin tin or we're baking it because it's the exact same filling.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Good deal.
So that's
Well,
what
Janet,
it is.
Hey, we enjoyed this so much, and I know that you guys probably do as well. And if you'd like this recipe, we can make it oh so easy for you. You can email me at North Central. My email address is barry.hyatt@nctc.com, or you can also email us, or actually check it out on our website, I should say. That website address is www.nctc.com, and we'll make sure that you get this recipe. Of course, it's April. And
Yes.
we're hoping by next month it's going to be warm weather only, no more cold weather. Have you thought anything about maybe next month yet?
Well, we always think of Mayberry, we think of berries. That's usually our first strawberry month and some things like that. But, you know, we'll see. But I'm kind of leaning toward that. I've
Okay.
got some things I really want to share with people for some quick suppers.
Good deal.
Again, like the frittata.
Like this? Okay.
Yes, like that
Fantastic.
too. But strawberries, I'm thinking we might do something with berries.
That's always a favorite
It
of mine.
would.
That'll be good. All
Definitely.
right. Well, thanks so much, Janet, and thank you all so much for joining us. We'll see you again next month. Until then, take care and have a great week.